Hey guys, my name's Nicholas Stahl. You're watching The Herd. We're here with Reverend Horton, Heath. Thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So, you guys come to Lawrence often, or have you been here before?
Yeah, we've been coming here for a long time, too many times to count. So, our first tour out of the Texas region was up through the Midwest, and on that particular trip, we played this club.
Oh, awesome. So, you guys are playing with Split Lip, who's the local legends for us. Have you guys ever played with them before?
Oh yeah, we've done tours, several tours over quite a number of years now. So yeah, we're buddies with them, and they're great. Done a lot of tours, hopefully many more.
Yeah, definitely. Their bassist plays with the Stitch Giver. Has your bassist ever played with anything similar to that? Like his bass is the big, it's like gas can.
Yeah, he made it out of a gas tank. Yeah.
Have you guys ever experimented with stuff like that?
Well, no, and the odd thing about us is when we first started touring, we had an upright bass. Nobody knew what that was. Well, why did y'all bring that big cello? Do you use that? You guess you use that on some songs. Well, no, we use it on every song. What? I mean, they didn't know how to, so there weren't really any bands doing upright bass, but no, Jeff Eaton, he's a one-of-a-kind character, he made his gas tank bass, and he makes it work, but,
You guys run into, like you said, when you started, you've been around for quite a while, like bringing the upright bass was so early in your career, was probably pretty difficult going to venues. Have you guys run into other things like that recently, just being a little different? Than most of what the kids are used to. You still get that reaction every once in a while?
Well, from people that haven't seen us before, yeah, they don't know what to expect, and I think that one thing that surprises them is that we're quite a bit more turned up and energetic than they would expect an older band to be. So, maybe that, and I don't know. I mean, I'm not really sure what our impression, but I know that we are still making new fans, and that's pretty cool. So that's what it's all about. So.
Yeah, new fans is kind of something that I've noticed with you guys recently, even in the past decade. You guys were in one of the first Guitar Heroes. You guys had a song. And you probably saw the whole technology boom with digital downloads and things like that. How do you think that's affected your fan base? You think that's been a huge thing for bringing in new kids?
Well, I'm not necessarily sure about the digital download, but I do know that being on Guitar Hero and Rock Band and that kind of thing is for a band like us, it's like having a hit song. So whenever we have something like that happen, we can definitely see. Especially if we do an all-ages show, like when the Guitar Hero thing came out, we could tell our all-ages shows had a lot of young guys. You could tell they were gamers, more than So it was it was a pretty cool deal. You got to be you got to be creative, in that respect. But honestly, I got to tell you. To me, being a recording artist is not even a valid art form. It's like being in the advertising business. Being a musician has very little to do with making a recording. And making a recording has very little to do with being a musician. Because music is a streaming art form. It's not like you write a book and then you work on it, then you edit, then you re-edit, then you work on it, re-edit, finally it's published, it's done. Music is not like that. I might finish the song, but I'll play it a million different ways over my lifetime, and it's streaming. It goes out to a crowd, and so taking a little bit of a snippet of a studio session that we did one day in 1999, it's very meaningless personally to me, because music is about playing with a crowd and playing live.
No, that's my my favorite part about being a musician is live performance. I think being in the studio is great for what it is, but actually interacting with the crowd is irreplaceable as far as the art form goes.
Right. Yeah, because then you got to think about it. The world's greatest musicians have never even made a recording. Like there's no recording of Mozart.
Yeah.
Beethoven. Nobody knows what he sounded like playing a violin or piano or whatever. you know, or Mozart playing a harpsichord. It's not there.
If you had a time machine, would you go forward or backward?
I think I would go backwards. I think I would. See, my thing is even though that my era of learning to play music and being a kid and listening to stuff was the '70s. What I really loved was the '50s, and so that was, you know, and of course, you know, you always had these ideals about what it was like. It was probably so, you know, and it probably wasn't any different, really. It's just the cars looked different, the clothes looked different, different haircuts and stuff. But no, you know, I mean, I just, I love mid-century American stuff, and and obviously by our music, you know, I'm really influenced by the '50s rockabilly stuff, and so, you know, I would go back, I think, but.
Is there one performer you'd go to see?
Well, my favorites I've actually got to meet. You know, I got to play a gig with Jerry Lee Lewis about 2 months ago. Got to meet him, and Johnny Cash. Got to meet him, play a gig with him, and Carl Perkins, and some of those old '50s artists. And well, the guy that discovered Elvis and all those guys. I got to talk to Sam Phillips. He was an incredible guy, and so you know, I've got to you know, hang out with some of my heroes and idols, and get some insight into the way things used to be. So that's one thing that's been pretty cool. But
That's awesome.
yeah, you know, I've been around a long time, and it's like looking at this room. Like in this room, I remember we came here the day after they built this dressing room, and they put on all these like new walls and new and new carpet, and everything was all super clean. And they said, now don't write on the walls. Whatever you do. We said, okay, and we didn't write on the walls, and look what happened.
Yeah.
Something went wrong there.
20 years later.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'd like to thank Reverend Horton Heath and the Bottleneck for hosting the show. I will see you guys next time.